Ever read something and it just leaves you completely floored? Like, how did this not become a bestseller?
I feel that. What kind of hidden gem are we talking about today?
Well, buckle up because we're diving into a text that's been called too wild for the Bible. Get ready for the Book of Enoch.
Oh, now that's a deep cut. Definitely not your typical Sunday school material.
You can say that again. We're talking angels behaving badly, giants roaming the earth, forbidden knowledge being shared. It's got all the makings of a blockbuster, in my opinion.
It definitely has that epic, larger-than-life feel. But then the question becomes, if it's so captivating, why isn't it just part of the Bible as we know it?
That's the million-dollar question, right? So why isn't it?
Well, it's not as simple as it might seem at first glance. See, the Book of Enoch actually was seen as scripture by some early Jewish communities, and its fingerprints are all over later religious thought, too.
Really? So how did it fall out of favor then?
It ultimately didn't make it into what we know as the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh, and most branches of Christianity followed suit, labeling it apocryphal.
So not divinely inspired in their view.
Exactly, more like a fascinating glimpse into the beliefs and anxieties of a particular time and place, rather than a foundational text.
So when and where are we talking about exactly?
Think somewhere between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE.
Okay, so we're talking about a text with some serious historical baggage. And we've got excerpts from across the Book of Enoch lined up for today's deep dive. But before we get lost in a world of fallen angels and divine judgments, maybe give us a quick refresher. Who is this Enoch character again?
Ah, yes, good point. For those who need a quick reminder, Enoch was believed to be the great-grandfather of Noah,
Noah, as in Noah's Ark.
the one and only. And the Book of Enoch is basically a collection of his writings, his visions, prophecies, you name it. Think of it as a window into the beliefs and anxieties of that era.
And just to be clear, we're talking about a book that was essentially lost for centuries, right?
Right. It was considered lost to the sands of time until, that is, the late 18th century. A Scottish explorer named James Bruce was on an expedition to Ethiopia.
Hold on, Ethiopia. What does Ethiopia have to do with any of this?
That's the thing. Turns out, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church had preserved a complete version of the Book of Enoch. They even consider it part of their canon.
Wow, talk about a plot twist.
It was a huge deal for biblical scholars at the time, like unearthing a lost piece of history, a fresh perspective on ancient Jewish thought.
Okay, you've definitely piqued my interest. Let's crack open this treasure chest and see what we can learn, shall we? All right, so we're diving into the Book of Enoch, and let me tell you, this book doesn't hold back. We're talking angels, giants, forbidden knowledge. Where do we even begin?
Well, we could start with the story of the Watchers. It's a tale that's both captivating and, well, a little unsettling.
Yeah, the Watchers, not your typical angels.
Right,
Yeah?
not at all. Chapter 7 sets the stage. Picture a group of heavenly beings descending upon Mount Hermon, captivated by, believe it or not, the beauty of human women.
Wait, hold on. Angels with a wandering eye? What's the big deal?
That's what I'm saying, right. But here's the thing. What happened on Mount Hermon had some serious repercussions. We're talking cosmic consequences.
Okay, now you've got my attention. What exactly went down?
Well, chapter 8 tells us these Watchers, they were so consumed by desire that they basically went rogue. They broke ranks, interacted with humans in a way that was, let's just say, frowned upon.
Frowned upon. That's putting it mildly, isn't it? I mean, we're talking about a major breach of the cosmic order here. And those punishments were something else. Azazel, bound in chains, Shemihaza and the others imprisoned in a fiery pit for ages. That's intense.
Talk about laying down the law, right? And I think that's part of what makes this story so fascinating. It reveals this real anxiety about the boundaries between the heavenly and earthly realms, the dangers of mixing the two.
So it's more than just a cautionary tale about angels falling for humans.
Right. It's about the very nature of power, knowledge, and the consequences of transgression.
And let's not forget about the whole forbidden knowledge aspect. These Watchers, they didn't just share a few celestial dating tips. We're talking secrets of warfare, magic, the workings of the universe. It's like they spilled all the divine secrets.
It's true. And that's where the Nephilim come in. Remember those guys? The giant offspring born from this forbidden union.
Yeah, the giants. They don't sound like the friendliest bunch.
Not quite. They're depicted as agents of chaos and destruction, really driving home the point that this mingling of realms had disastrous consequences.
It's all very, I don't know, symbolic, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, are we really supposed to take these stories as literal history? Or are they trying to tell us something deeper? Something about the dangers of forbidden knowledge, the allure of the unknown, maybe even a reflection of the social anxieties of the time.
It's like the book is inviting us to grapple with those questions, to find our own interpretations.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of these ancient texts, isn't it? They spark our imaginations, challenge our assumptions, and leave us with more questions than answers.
So we've talked about watchers and giants, but this next part, this is where things get really trippy. Enoch's visions of heaven and hell, there's something else.
Oh, absolutely. These visions are vivid, detailed, and let's just say, a little mind-bending.
To say the least. Chapter 14, for example, describes Enoch's ascent through the heavens. Fiery skies, celestial chariots, chambers of wind. It's like something straight out of a science fiction movie.
It's definitely got that epic cosmic feel to it. But then he reaches his destination, a palace of pure crystal. Can you
I mean,
imagine?
talk about an upgrade. And that's not even the main attraction. We're talking about the throne of God itself.
And this isn't just any throne. This is a throne wreathed in flames, radiating blinding light. Chapter 17 and 18, they really go all out describing this awe-inspiring scene.
It's almost overwhelming, isn't it? The sheer scale, the intensity. But Enoch's visions, they're not all about heavenly splendor. He also witnesses the darker side, the punishments awaiting the wicked.
Right. There's the fiery abyss where rebellious angels are imprisoned, the desolate wasteland for the unrighteous. It's a stark reminder that this cosmology, it's about balance, a divine system of rewards and punishments.
So it's not just about heaven and hell as these abstract concepts.
Not at all. Enoch leads us through distinct regions, each with its purpose, its own set of rules. It's like he's giving us a map of the afterlife.
A map, that's a good way to put it. But the Book of Enoch, it's not just about the afterlife. There's also prophecy, visions of pivotal events like the Great Flood. Chapters 83 through 90 offer this incredible detailed account.
And those chapters, they're so rich in symbolism. You have this almost journalistic account of the events leading up to the flood, the wickedness of humanity, the divine judgment. But there's also this deeper layer, this allegory for the cyclical nature of sin and redemption, the consequences of our actions.
In Enoch's visions, they don't stop there. He sees into the future a final judgment, the coming of a messianic figure known as the Son of Man.
That's a theme that echoes through later religious traditions, highlighting the influence these early apocryphal texts had. This Son of Man, destined to judge humanity, it's a powerful image.
So we have this book excluded from the official canon, but it's full of these ideas and images that have resonated for centuries. It makes you wonder why it was ever sidelined in the first place.
Right, but I think that's part of what makes it so fascinating. It offers this different perspective, this glimpse into a world of belief that's both familiar and strange.
It's a reminder that there are so many ways to understand the big questions, the mysteries of good and evil, our place in the universe.
And that's the beauty of a deep dive like this, isn't it? We get to explore these different perspectives, these ancient texts that still have something to say to us today.
Absolutely. And on that note, we'll leave you with a question. What resonated most with you about the Book of Enoch? What made you think? What challenged your assumptions? Let us know, and until next time, happy reading.
Listen to more interesting podcasts on Planet Libra